O'clock. All right. So, Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening, everyone. Today we will continue on our journey of Bhagavad Gita. We will take a very fascinating topic, which is related to Guru. And today is the first session on this series where we will tackle about the topic of a Guru on the path of spirituality. Do we need a Guru? Who's a Guru? Um, what kind of relationship we need to have with Guru, how we identify a Guru, and all the questions, anything and everything under the sun related to the topic of Guru is what we are going to discuss over the next few sessions. So very warm welcome to all of you. I'm looking forward to a very engaging and interactive session. And let's get started. It's 9 o'clock already, like we always do. I'm going to recite the opening prayers and then we will get to the topic of our discussion today. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Par Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening. So, hope you have adjusted to the new time change. It's 8:30 in India, and there might be a slight adjustment in Pacific time, Eastern time, Mountain time as well. But good to see a lot of people have been able to join. Let's get started. My throat is a little off because of a lot of screaming and whistling that I did yesterday, but I hope you're able to hear me all right. Now, let's get started. Today, the shloka that we are going to take is 4.34. And it is a very it's an inflection point where not an inflection point I should say, but a very pertinent or important question that Arjun is asking in Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna is answering that question basically with related to who's a spiritual master, what is the significance, and we will go into really great detail on this topic because so many people have so many questions related to this topic, and we will bust some myths and stereotypes related to this topic as well. Guru and a lot of other stuff, anything that comes to your mind. So I'm going to recite it and then you're welcome to follow along. The shloka. Tadvidhi pranipatena परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम् ज्ञानिनः तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Okay, let's take a few hands.
Many hands for this shloka. Shyamji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Shyamji.
Radhe Radhe. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Okay. Dinesh ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Tad vidyapi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. Radhe Radhe.
Dinesh, Radhe Radhe.
Okay. Shefali, Radhe Radhe.
Shefali is on the side as well today. Radhe Radhe, Shefali.
Radhe Radhe Ratujiya. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinah. Radhe Radhe.
Shefali, you recited like a song today. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let's take a few more hands.
Uday ji, Radhe Radhe.
या राधे राधे तद विधि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः राधे राधे
Ji, thank you. Okay, let's freeze the hands. So now we have a lot to cover, so let's move on quickly. Yeah. Aparna ji.
Radhe Radhe, Aparna ji.
राधे राधे
Radhe Radhe.
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
Wonderful.
Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Next, Lakshmi ji, Radhe Radhe. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe everyone. Tatvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshayanti te gnanam gnaninastatvadarshinaha. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe, let's take two more hands.
Shri Ramya ji, Radhe Radhe. Please go ahead.
राधे राधे विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनः तत्त्वदर्शिनः Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you, Shiramya. All right. Okay. Andrea, go ahead.
Okay. तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनः तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Wonderful. Very nice. Okay. I see two more hands, so we can quickly take them. Please go ahead and let's freeze the number of hands now.
Radhe Radhe, Riya ji. Please go ahead.
राधे राधे तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Very nice. Thank you, Riya ji. Ragi ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe,
Yeah.
Ragi ji.
Thank you, Radhe Radhe. तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Thank you,
Thank
Ragi ji.
you, Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. So let's get started. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna is telling, so see, if you look at the sequence of events leading up to this shloka, he's talking about the sacrifices, right? And how sacrifice leads to knowledge. And then we spoke about how knowledge is revealed when you do bhakti. Anyway, we'll keep on revising those concepts. But now, building on to this concept, where does the knowledge come from? Who can impart your knowledge? And this question is tackled very clearly. And we're going to go very systematically on this topic. Right? Each and everything, it has to be understood properly because it's a very important shloka with regards to our spiritual journey. So let's get started. So Lord Krishna is saying that learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him with reverence and render service unto him. Right? When he says pranipaten pariprashnena sevaya. So he's saying that you need to inquire from him with reverence and render service unto him. Buzzwords: reverence, service. Now, then he says such an enlightened saint. So this is in quote, enlightened saint, can impart knowledge unto you. That person has an ability to impart knowledge to you. Why? Because he has seen the truth. He has seen the truth. Okay. We are all seeking the absolute truth, right? Knowledge is what we are seeking. God has given us Gyan Indriyas. We are absorbing knowledge from all those. The absolute truth, the quest for absolute truth, all of us are seeking, whoever is seeker. But this knowledge can be imparted unto you by somebody who has seen the truth. That is a key requirement. Let's move on. So like we do our session, we start with our soul soup segment. We talk about something that is, see, this is the main dose, spiritual dose that we take. And when we take antibiotics or some main medicine, the doctor typically prescribes some supplements along with it as well. So what we discuss on the side are the supplements that will help you nourish your spiritual journey by acquiring the right kind of thought process and right kind of skill set and right kind of virtues And that is what we pick up as part of our Soul Soup segment. So today's Soul Soup segment, we are on the series of success, happiness, and fulfillment. All of us are seeking that. It is a common denominator across the entire humanity. We all want to be successful, whatever your definition of success is. We all want to feel happy, and we want to have a fulfilled sense of fulfillment with regards to our life and what we do. So today, the question that I'm posing is, we're going to talk about something very interesting, which is, do you tap into the inexhaustible source of energy within you? First of all, do we even know that there's an inexhaustible source of energy within us? And what is that? That energy is called inspiration. We all have the capability of that fuel that we need to have, which is of inspiration. And this inspiration is something, it says that a moment of inspired living is worth a lifetime spent in insipidity. If you have inspiration, we have everything. And in fact, a person, if you lose wealth, that is not being bankrupt. If you lose inspiration in life, if you're not inspired by anything at all, right? I think Sky had said, forgot his name, he said that if you haven't found a purpose worth dying for, your life is not worth living for, right? I think Benjamin Roosevelt or one of them had said. So the point is that inspiration is very, very important, and it connects us with that inexhaustible source that I'm talking about of energy within ourselves. And when we do not feel inspired, even a noble activity seems boring and tedious at that point. And it is a fuel that we need to propel ourselves forward. Right? There's a saying in English which is said that life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. So that feeling that inspiration, nurturing that, and giving yourself a reason is very important for us to move forward. The stronger your inspiration, the harder you will aspire for it, and it will directly translate to the actions and the measures that you would take to proceed further. And it literally means the motive for action. What is the motive for behind any action that you want to take? And it is the passion that we bring to our work, our life, attitude, and effort for self-improvement as well. So I'll tell you a quick story around it. There was a teenager, his summer vacation had started, and he thought of getting a job during the break, summer vacation job. And then when he applied to one of the biggest mall in the neighborhood, and he submitted a neatly typed resume for that particular job. And he was delighted to receive an invitation as well, that, okay, come over to 9 a.m. the next Monday for interview for that job. Now, when he filled himself with enthusiasm, when he reached the mall, he saw that there were 20 people lined in front of him for that interview. And he was the 21st in the line. This was very discouraging for him. He didn't have, what chance does he stand? There are 20 people, and the odds of him getting selected, they reduce, right? Just because of the long line that he saw in front of him. And he said maybe the manager would be exhausted by the time he reaches out to him. Now, he was an inspired youngster. So what he does that, he scribbled a note and put it in the, clerk's waiting room. What did he scribble on the note? He said that, "Madam," he said, "can you please hand it to the manager? It is an urgent matter." So the lady clerk snubbed him. He said, "Wait in the line, your turn to meet the boss will come, and then you can hand it over to him." He said, "But it is very, very important. It needs to be handed over to him right now before the interview starts." And then she saw something, there was something captivating in his voice, maybe because of the inspiration that he was carrying. He picked up the note and then he handed it to the manager. And you know what he had written in the note? He had written that, "I am the 21st applicant in line. Decide nothing until you see me." Okay, that is a simple note that he had written. And his enthusiasm was insuppressible. And the manager did not fail to realize that he had a vital ingredient for success at work. So that is the inspiration. It is said it is a fuel. And basically that made him stand out in the job, and he bagged the job as well. The point is that for a person who's inspired, no problem is too big. When you are inspired, no problem is too big. When you are not inspired, small problem is also very big. Okay, that is how it goes. So hopefully it gives us some food for thought and a tool that we can add to our armory if already we don't have it. And how do we create inspiration? By burning desire for something. right? If we have a burning desire, we will really put intense efforts toward it. When we don't have a burning desire, we are like chalta hai, right? Attitude will be there, all right. If it happens, so be it. If it doesn't, not a big deal. So we will not be able to bring that intensity. Now let's get to the topic today. Now, what do we have at this screen? Okay, so what do you see in this screen? Somebody is solving an equation. 64 divided by 16, he cut it 6 by 6 and 4 came. Okay, and maybe this lady, I every time I see this, I get amazed by this lady, right? She was at the doctor. He said, you have only 6 months of life. And then she shoots somebody. Judge says you have 20 years of, gave me 20 years. So what do you have these two people in common? Anybody who wants to, just to get some thought process going around it? Yes, Sandhya, go ahead.
Ignorance.
Yeah, ignorance. Their own interpretation of, going about something. You may come across a right answer occasionally, but that doesn't mean you have solved the equation in the right way, right? Ignorance. Yes, ignorance, not understanding the correct standing. Now, we had a Diwali function, a very smashing Diwali function yesterday here at Dallas. So I thought I'll tell you about a Diwali joke as well here, okay, related to Ram Bhagwan. So there was a teacher and an invigilator who comes to a school, and the students, they were, taught Ramayana. So he said, let me check out, how students understand, how well they understand. So he comes and asks about, tell me who broke Ram Bhagwan's bow. Okay. No, the Lord Shiva's bow rather. Okay. Tell me who broke Lord Shiva's bow. He asks the student, and the student promptly replies back. He said, I didn't break it. So invigilator said, asks the teacher, look at your student. I'm asking the question, who broke Lord Shiva's bow? He's saying, I didn't break it. The teacher said, sir, if he's saying that, I'm sure he's not broken it. He's very trustworthy. He said, what kind of a teacher we have here? So he took the student and the teacher to the principal and said, I asked the student, he said, I didn't break it. Teacher is also siding with him and saying, if he's saying he might not have broken it. So then the principal says, sir, something which is broken, why bother? Okay, so this is how the school was. Now, all three are ignorant, right? They don't have the right knowledge and they're just taking a guess about something, what is happening. And in the process, of course, they have certain thought process and answers ready for it because of their understanding, right? So with that said, of course, ignorance is a big problem. And Vedavyas also knew that. Okay, the jokes apart, Vedavyas also said the same in Vedanta Sutra, Ajnanamevasya mool karanam. Ignorance is the biggest problem humanity has. And once you remove ignorance, everything will fall in place. And because of ignorance, it breeds other problems. Asmita, abhinivesh. It's like thinking of ourselves as a body, senses, body, and then thinking of our bodily extensions, which is our relations and everything as permanent, ours. And it leads to other problems as well and compounding effect. The ignorance, it keeps on getting magnified. Let's move on. I'll pose another question. We are a soul. I think we all understand that now, right? We are soul having a bodily experience, or are we a body having a soul experience? We are a soul. We are divine soul. We all know that. हम जानते हैं, मानते नहीं. We know it, but we don't deeply understand it as yet. Now, our goal is God. That also we kind of understand, right? We have to reach that absolute truth or that absolute thing. Now, the question here is soul to God, or soul via Guru to God. Now, soul to God, you think it is possible, or you need an intermediary? It's like, why not deal directly with, I have my God. We have our connection with God, of course. Can we directly approach God, or do we need a middleman? Can we deal directly with the party, or we need a broker in between? Anybody who wants to take this question? Or both are possible? It could be either or. Okay, anybody other than Sandhya? She has answers to every question. Okay. Yes, Shyamji.
Radhe Shyamji.
Radhe Shyamji.
Yes, Radhe Radhe. It is possible to reach God, but it's a bit tedious, difficult task. But
Yes.
through Guru, life becomes much more easier, much more smoother.
Okay.
And that way we get two things, Guru plus God.
Okay. So you said it is possible. However, it becomes easier if we have a guru. Hold on to that thought. Okay. By the end
Yeah.
of the week, we will revisit this question. I want to hear from some other people as well. And it is said, people say that, why do I need a guru? Okay. Why do I need somebody? Everybody claims themselves to be a guru, and anybody can wear a saffron cloth and grow a beard, or start putting a mala around them and say, I'm a guru. And do we really need to do that? And these days we hear so many scams happening as well, right? Godmen and stuff like that. So all those questions come into mind. And then you say, okay, I'm not going to deal with any of it. I have my direct connection with God, and that is good enough for me. Let's hear from a few more hands. Is both the path possible, or one is possible, or what do you have to say about it? Yes, Abhinav, go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Abhinav ji.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe.
Abhinav.
So, both the paths are possible. Having a guru will give you more clarity how to get connected to God.
Yep.
And if we don't have guru, I think it will take many lives to get that knowledge that there is someone, what as God, and to get little bit truth, or who God is, like who God is.
Got
So
it.
basically, yeah, I think that's my point.
Okay. So I think both you and Shyamji are kind of on the same side. It's 2-0. Okay. Yes, Shweta ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Shweta ji.
One or two more hands, and then we'll move on.
Radhe Radhe. Guru is absolutely a must in your life,
2-1.
because Guru will dispel your knowledge, and he will also cleanse your heart. And the case in point is in Mahabharata, Arjun had to accept Sri Krishna as Guru, then he imparts the knowledge. So having a Guru is a must on spiritual path. That's my opinion. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Sure, Shweta ji. So it's 2-1. Somebody saying Guru is an absolute must. As I said, Guru is fine. It is preferred, but it's not needed. All right, let's take Sulabh ji. I see a new hand today. Maybe one more hand we'll take, and then we'll move forward with this discussion. Yes, Sulabh ji, go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Sulabh ji.
Radhe Radhe. I'm not unmute. Yeah, hi. Radhe Radhe. I want to say that, Guru is, without Guru, you cannot achieve a God. Even if you try by yourself, somebody has to introduce you to the God. Either you see a God in a temple, but you don't know who is he. So maybe the Panditji of the temple will tell you this is a God. Or you read the books are written by somebody, is that he might be your guru, or your parents tell you about the God, or anything. So the knowledge is always comes through Guru, I believe. So Guru is really must for everybody.
Okay. So we have a stalemate. Guru is must, two people are saying, and other are saying, no, Guru is not must, but if you have, doesn't hurt. It can accelerate your process. So 2-all, will leave it at the stalemate and move on.
There is chat also.
Sure.
So that increases the probability of must. That's why
Okay. So
Komalji says,
Komalji, okay, go ahead and read the chat if there's some.
Komalji says, without Guru, you won't be able to walk on this path. At some point of time, you will get lost. And Manishji says, Guru is must, as Guru is the only one we can get grace through to reach God. So it's not possible without Guru. Manisha ji.
Guru is must, or Guru is must? What did he say?
Must as well as must.
Yeah, good.
But he said must, yeah. There are many more, but all the people in the chat are saying it's a must.
Okay, great. So let's move on. We will continue building on this topic. So let's hold off on this thought right now. Let's get started with Guru's topic. Why do we need a Guru? Do we need a Guru? Kind of a deed, who's a true Guru? And all these questions we are going to tackle over the next few sessions. Why do I need a Guru? Let's start with some from a material world standpoint. As we start getting into scriptures and all that stuff, people say, hey, that it's a little esoteric that you're talking about. So let's have some kind of an understanding from this worldly perspective as well, from a material world standpoint, just to bring this topic to life from a practical standpoint. Do I need a mentor? Let's talk about in the real world, a scenario of having a mentor in your life. Okay. Do I need a mentor? Let's talk about that. Good mentors can save us from countless mistakes and years of fumbling in the dark. We all understand that. We all probably worked in corporates or understand these principles. When you have a mentor, you don't end up reinventing the wheel. You piggyback on their experience. They help you save a lot of mistakes and fumbling in the dark. This is what the mentors do in this world as well. Okay, now let's look at it. Now, having a good mentor in any field helps us set goals, shorten the learning curve, receive encouragement, stay focused, avoid pitfalls, and much more. That is directly from Swami Mukundanand. Sir Isaac Newton, who's one of the biggest scientists of our generation, not our generation, what am I saying, of our times, I would say, era. He said, if I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. Because science, how does it work? Somebody has done some kind of a discovery up to a certain point and they keep building on it. Right? It is a ground up kind of a way it goes. And how does it work? You have a mentor. Even in research, you are assigned a mentor, and that is how you work. And Sir Isaac Newton had said that. Let's look at some of the facts and figures around having a mentor. Gartner says, those of you who work in corporate, you would understand Gartner, it has commands a bit of a respect there. They say employees who received mentoring were promoted 5 times more than those who did not have mentors. It is from Gartner report directly. Then we have Center for, the CWL. They say 75% of Fortune 500 corporations, they invest in mentoring programs. They feel it is worthwhile. Every corporate has that program. ASTD, it says that 71% of executives, when they were asked what played a key role in their careers, pointed to mentoring. That is a key thing. Then we have the war for talent. These are all, basically sources that are well recognized and held in high esteem when it comes to their opinion here. 95 of mentees said the experience motivated to do their best source, right? So I hope the point is coming out very clearly. And Harvard Business Review says 84% of mentees said mentors helped them avoid costly mistakes. So this is a very well-known fact in corporate world as well, to have a mentor. And who is a mentor? Now let's understand that part. Okay, in different languages, it talks about who's having a mentor. In Greek, this word came from to mean a wise person who's also a trusted advisor, okay, and friend and a teacher. Then from Japanese and Chinese, it says the designation sensei is used as an honorific term for a martial art teacher. The word literally means one who came before. Okay, this is what it talks about. Then in Tibet, a lama, okay, Dalai Lama, right? Lama is a kind of a compassionate teacher of Dharma, which is who shows you the path of enlightenment. The Dalai Lama is the highest ranking teacher in Tibetan Buddhism as well. Then Italian, you have a word called maestro, designated teacher of music. It's a short term of maestro, right? So basically, there's a term in Italian as well. French use the word tutor, who's a teacher, trainer, well-wisher. English use the word guide, one who knows the way and shows the way. So this is a well-known concept across all the traditions, all the languages, if you look at it, right? And then one who takes us forward in life. In America, they use the word coach. These days, life coaches are becoming a fad as well, right? People want to become a life coach who's a teacher, trainer who takes us forward in life. So the concept of mentor is pretty widespread and commonly accepted thing in the material world for you to succeed in life, in your corporate life, personal life, and a lot of life coach when we talk about. So it's a very well accepted fact. Now on the path of spirituality here, we have become a genius, right? In material world, we accept we need somebody. But when it comes to spiritual world, some of us think we can crack this code on our own. So we are going to tackle this question today very deeply and seriously over the next 3, 4, 5 days, so that if we have some kind of belief system around it, and that needs to be challenged, it becomes very clear. Yes, Aparna ji, you had a question before we proceed further?
Radhe, no, not a question. I was going to answer the same thing, whether it's possible. I mean, it's possible to traverse the path of spirituality without a guru or no. But yes, guru is absolutely a must in any field. If you want to excel or progress, you need a guru. Whether it's like in your gym or in your tennis or athletics, whatever you want to do, I think you need a coach or guru. That is my opinion.
Got it. Thank you, Aparna. So, yes, so a mentor is needed. See, even when we started studying, if you remember, the teacher told you KNIFE is knife, and you simply accepted it. And did you argue with the teacher? Why not knife? Right? K is silent, just accept it. So you needed, even, when we are growing up, to understand certain things, we just follow the teacher and they explain us. And I remember when I was studying, in order for me to understand the deeper concepts, we had to get a tutor and stuff like that, right? To master any subject, chemistry, physics, biology, we need teachers. And here we are talking about mastering a subject, which is spirituality. And if we think of going on our own on this one, it's a bit tricky around that. And then we will take a refuge of our scriptures to see what scriptures have to say about this topic, of whether do you need a guru at all. And what do our scriptures say? See, whatever we discuss in our sessions, it is going to be inspired from what scriptures say. What do our scriptures tell us about that topic is what we will continue to explore. Now, in Hinduism, the word guru is used for a person of great knowledge, wisdom, authority, and who guides others. So from Advayatraka Upanishad, it says Guru word is explained. It is say Guru means darkness, Ruh means to dispel it. Hence, one who dispels our darkness and brings us into the light of knowledge is the Guru. I told you that our Vedavyas, the first thing in Vedanta Sutra, he had written us that, Athato Brahma Jikyasa, that inquire, and then there itself he is mentioned that Agyanam evasya mool karanam, that ignorance is the biggest affliction humanity is afflicted with, right? And now we are talking about Guru is saying that he is the one who can dispel that ignorance for you. Okay, that is the standing of Guru in our scriptures. Also, if you look at Guru, that Sanskrit word Guru also connotes that one who is heavy or profound due to his depth of knowledge. So if you put it like this, right, which one is heavier? On one side you have Guru, and one side you have worldly opinions and studies, all that stuff that you do, but Guru's opinion would carry more weightage because Guru is Guru. Now, I'm not gotten into the definition of Guru as yet. I'm just talking about the significance or the importance of Guru as per the standing of our scriptures. Now, who is a Guru? Who has an eligibility to be a Guru? What qualification does a Guru need to have? All that stuff is for later discussion because it's a topic in itself which we'll continue to explore. But let's for now understand a mentor or a Guru, a spiritual Guru is needed on this path. That is what our scriptures are saying. Why? We will continue to explore that very systematically so that you do understand it in a very logical way. Why is it needed? Why can't I go on my own on this journey? Okay, that thing has to be very clear in our heads. Let's continue. So, need for a spiritual mentor. Scriptures and saints declare Guru as an indispensable for awakening our best self. Now, indispensable means mandatory. Okay, that means if you're thinking, you can go on your own. It will just be a little slower, maybe more lifetimes, but you can explore it on your own. It is not possible. It is just not possible. You cannot do that. Our scriptures are telling us very clearly. Why? We will get into that as well. And now Shankaracharya, the first Jagat Guru, he said that unless one takes shelter of a Guru, one cannot attain salvation. Hence, surrender to a Guru without whom you cannot achieve perfection. It's exactly jiving with the message of Bhagavad Gita as well. Tad vidhi pranipaten pariprashnen seveya. Tad vidhi pranipaten. What do you surrender? What do we have to surrender? Is it like a garland we wear to our Guru, say, I'm surrendered? No. What are you surrendering? Are you surrendering your mind? No, you need to surrender your buddhi, basically. The wisdom, or not the wisdom, but the intellect that is governing your mind. When you need to surrender that part. Because if you don't surrender it, then if their instruction does not make sense to you, it is very normal. Because if their instruction makes sense to you, that means you're at the same level as your Guru. And if it doesn't make sense, and you follow it, and then you see where it comes, I'll tell you a lot of references and stories around that. then it will take you to the next level, right? Arjun, he's actually debating with Krishna throughout this, but finally he says that now I'm fully bought into your idea of what I should be doing, and I'll do that. That means he surrendered himself. Right? Initially, he was telling Krishna, go here, go there. After reading, not reading, but listening to Bhagavad Gita, now he tells Krishna, okay, you tell me, what do I need to do and whom do I need to shoot, right? If you ask me to shoot Karan, which goes against my value system of not hitting somebody behind the back, I'll do that because I'm surrendered to you. He did not say, no, Krishna, why should I do that? It doesn't jive well with my value system. I am a Kshatriya. People are going to mock me that I did not beat him fair and square. But he said, I'm surrendered. So whatever you are going to tell me, I'll do that. So let's move on and understand. And then Kabir Das ji had said that for those who say they do not need a guru because God is in the forest and elsewhere, Saint Kabir says that such people are hypocrites and they are always disappointed. So saints are very clearly telling us, find a guru. Otherwise, it's a wild, wild west. Nothing's going to happen. You may take one step forward, two backward, three forward, five backward, and this journey will continue like a tipsy person is moving towards his home without having no clue where to go. We'll keep on getting help, but without a guru, this journey is not possible. That's what our scriptures are telling. Because God's grace flows by a guru, and we will go deeper into this concept. Why? Right? Question will come, why? Why would God not himself manifest in front of you? So we'll continue to explore that. Next is, let's look at it what Bhagavatam says about this topic. Bhagavatam says in 11:22-20 that Lord Krishna says to Uddhav that since endless lifetimes, the intellect of the souls is covered by ignorance. Again, the same thing. There is a running theme of ignorance. This cannot go by self-analysis. There is need for receiving knowledge from a guru who is knower of the absolute truth. It's a reiteration of what Bhagavad Gita is saying as well. That you need to approach a guru who knows the absolute truth, and he only can remove that ignorance from your mind. Nobody else can. Okay, and if you rely on your intellect, right? A lot of people who have this pride of I know it all, IKEA syndrome. That means you have accepted your intellect as your guru. It means you have accepted your intellect as your guru, and your intellect will never give judgment against itself. It will always tell you, you know what, I have figured it out. The rest of the people might not have seen through it, but I have figured it out. And it will never tell you that you are wrong. So it goes beyond that part, right? The guru will give you instructions which will challenge and cleanse your intellect until it starts seeing its own defects. But until that point, your intellect will also not challenge itself. It will keep on giving you or misguiding you that I'm right, I know it all, and I'm perfectly okay. And that is where the guru's job is to remove those blind spots for you and continue to carry you forward. Okay. Now, so basically this is a very interesting process to understand why do we need the guru, or what is the meaning of life when we approach a guru, right? We have the instruction that is given is pranipaten. You need to surrender your intellect, and you cannot be rushed for time, right? You don't need instant results. Some people have that big problem of time, right? They say that I'm willing to invest, but then I need to see results. You're very results oriented, right? Immediately. So it doesn't work that process. This process takes a bit of a while, and you have to go through a certain things, right? We'll talk about the qualities of a guru, the eligibility of a guru, the qualifications of a guru, and the qualification of a disciple as well. And that's when we will talk about this topic in more detail. But there is an interesting thing which is called, I came across this, which is a graph between confidence and competence. Okay, this is how the graph goes in this world. So I hope you understand high, low, knowing, and guru. Okay, so this is how this unfolds basically. The curve, if you look at it, first it is called the peak of Mount Stupid. So people who have very high confidence, typically they don't know anything. They don't know much. And their confidence is super high. You might have come across people like that. Their confidence is as if they own the world, but when it comes to true knowledge, they don't know much. So this is how it's inversely proportional. So their confidence is high, but their knowledge level is not so high, until you reach a peak of, which is called peak of Mount Stupid. Peak of Mount Stupid, and that's where you fall down from there. I'll tell you a story. There was a guy, right? He approaches his master. I think I spoke about this, told you earlier as well. And he said, Guruji, I need to have a spiritual experience. He wanted to experience it fairly quickly. So Guruji says it takes time for you to experience that. There's a process you have to follow. He said, no, I really want to experience it. He said, all right, go ahead then. And he had just come from office. He said, go out and look at the heavens and cry out. God might answer your prayer and give you some kind of a spiritual experience. He said, really, Guruji, it will work. He said, yeah, it will work. Go and cry out to the heavens. Give me some spiritual experience. And he goes out and starts crying out to the heaven that, okay, give me some spirit. He closes his eyes and keeps on crying out, give me some spiritual experience kind of a thing. And after a while, the clouds come over. There's a big cloud cover that comes, and soon it starts, raining, and it starts pouring, and he's thoroughly drenched in rain. And he's crying out like that. And nothing happens. And then he comes back to his Guruji. He said, Guruji, I was crying out for the last 2 hours and nothing happened. On the other side, the rain started happening and I'm thoroughly drenched. So Guruji asked him, how do you feel right now? He said, I feel like a complete fool right now. He said, that's your first spiritual experience. Okay. So it all starts when you consider yourself as a fool. I know nothing. That's when your spiritual journey, the ABC, would start basically. Otherwise, your pride, your intellect will not make way for the real knowledge to enter. Okay, this is how it goes. And then you reach the peak of Mount Stupid, then there's a fall, and then at that moment, it's called the Valley of Despair. It's like, oh my God, my foundation is kind of shaking right now. What I thought of what life is, who I am, whether there is God or not. So those kind of questions start coming up, and then it starts picking up. It's called the slope of enlightenment when you start seeking in a proper way, or you have made it a priority, which is called slope of enlightenment. And when you reach a plateau of stability, that's around the time when you've reached threshold, you will meet a guru. Right? Our scriptures say when the disciple is ready, the master will appear. I don't know what is the algorithm that dictates that, but God is seated within us. He knows this person is seeking for the right reasons. And now the time is ripe for this person to meet a guru who will take their journey to the next level. It happens. You have to be patient. That's how it goes. And by the way, this is something you can search. It is called a Dunning-Kruger effect. That is how the world works, basically. People who typically have the highest of confidence, not for everybody, exceptions are always there, are usually the ones who don't know much. So they say, what is the, I think Einstein had said that what is the difference between genius and stupid? And then he answers that he said genius has its limits. Stupidity doesn't have its any limits, okay? It is limitless. So if you come across a lot of that thing, it is very, very much to be expected in this world. Not to give us a sense of one-upmanship that we are all work in progress, but the point is that the way this path unfolds is the more you know, the more you would realize how less you know. And if that is the feeling you always have, that means you are on the right path. If, on the contrary, you are thinking, oh my God, I know so much, then you are not on the right path. Because this spiritual knowledge is an ocean. And it's only through God's grace it becomes wisdom. And the more wisdom you would acquire, the more you will understand how much is there to know. And how much I'm relying on God's grace to fill those gaps for me. So the more you know, the more realization will dawn upon you how less you know. And then when that starts happening, you can be rest assured you're on the right path. Okay, that is how it goes. Yes, Sandhya, you had a question?
Yes, like this realization that one knows very less, as and when, as you said, as they know more, they realize that they know very less. That corresponds to this plateau of sustainability or like a high confidence. Like what I'm kind of getting a bit confused with is ego, confidence, and humility. Like the confidence doesn't mean ego, but can they also at times?
See, that is a check you have to keep in yourself, because when you start getting knowledge, when you start getting understand, and you don't have a guru who's keeping a check on you, right? And you're not revising that knowledge, then there's always a chance you will fall into the trap of ego. So that confidence that we are talking about is a silent confidence, right? That I have a support of my Guru and God with me. And because of with that, I'm going to surmount every obstacle that is going to come my way. That gives you a silent confidence. That doesn't bring in the spirit of pride or false confidence in you. So yes, it's a bit of a dichotomy here, but you start experiencing it. You understand that, and then you don't want to lose out on the grace just by having a false pride and an ego, because you understand if I do that, I can fall down. So you appreciate that aspect as well. And at the same time, you have a quiet confidence that there is no obstacle that will be insurmountable for me with God and Guru's grace on the path. And now I've started understanding it, and I'm progressing. You will understand. So that will give you that quiet confidence. Today I was looking at Virat Kohli, right? He not broke, he actually equaled Sachin Tendulkar's record of 49 centuries. And one of the statements that he gave, which I really liked, was that he brought in that, okay, I never thought when I started playing that I would reach this stance, and with God's grace, it has been possible, and it is a privilege to play for India. He was attributing it to God's grace. In fact, when he scored that century, he looked at the heavens very quietly. He used to be very brash over boy, but now he's quiet, and he admit he'd gone to Vrindavan as well. So maybe that spirituality aspect is kicking in. Now he's not saying that. He said that, yeah, if I continue to play, we'll see basically. But regardless of what I do, I will never be able to surpass Tendulkar in his perfection, because he used to be my childhood hero. Now he has a confidence. It's not a pride that is talking, right? The pride would have been, yes, I deserve it and I will break all the records. And Tendulkar is nobody. Now I've broken his record. So he's saying, even if I do that, I know I will not be able to surpass him, because he was the batting perfection, somebody who came to the perfection, and he was my childhood hero. But he has a confidence that he could do that. So that is confidence is different from having that pride. That comes from wisdom only when you have acquired some kind of a spiritual depth. Otherwise, when will that confidence split into ego? You'll never not be able to understand that. So yes, we have to take both in stride. That quiet confidence that I have a backing of my, God and Guru with me. So anything is possible for me. But at the same time, humility that, what, I still have so much work to do. I still have so many things to accomplish before I can, get to my ultimate goal. So both things go hand in hand in your head. Hope I answered your question. Okay. So a couple of things now, Guru part, like I said, now the questions, of course, now we'll take a few questions around it. What if I don't have a Guru? How do I wait? So we can take all that questions, and then we will talk about, can anybody be claimed to be a Guru, or how would you know he's a right Guru? So these questions we will tackle throughout the week, because this is a very important topic. Because it's important we understand it thoroughly and then from all angles. Including some of the stereotypes related to guru mantra and all that stuff, right? And what will be a good qualification of a disciple as well. We will talk about that as well. Okay, any questions so far? This is the time to get into a bit of an interactive discussion, so I'll leave the house, open it up for participants now.
Shyamji.
So Krishna says, God says, whoever your Ishtadev says, first deal with my representative. Okay, learn to respect and put your surrender to their feet. And then when you are ready, I'll simply pick you up. Guru is more important than God, because God will simply pick up. He does not accept impure hearts. Guru accepts impure hearts and works on it and cleanses it and prepares you for God. It's just like a girl, all the hard work is done by her parents, and then finally a boy comes and picks her up. Right? God does something similar. But who's doing the hard work? The Guru will be doing the hard work on you. So that is why the stature of Guru in our scriptures is even higher than God. Right? Kabir Das ji has said that Guru Gobindo khade kake lagu paye. Guru diye Gobind se milaye pen. But he will, if
Guru aapne
Hari Guru aapne diye Gobind milaye ra. So basically he said that if God and Guru both are there, I will pay much more respect to Guru first, because he's the one who has made me Guru, right? So it said, Hari ki kripa se mile Guruvar pyare, or Guru ki kripa se mile Giridhar pyare. So it's both ways it works. With God's grace, you get a guru, and with guru's grace, you get a God. So this is how relationship works. So God says, deal with my representative. And then if you have negative feelings about people and things around it as well, that is also part of that, that impurities that we carry in our mind. We have to deal with God's relatives also. It's like you're getting married to a person, you better take care of your in-laws also. Okay. Get friendly with them as well. So everybody is God's relative here. If you don't deal with them well, so there's something still more work that needs to be done yourself. So Guru is the one who will do that cleaning job. He'll confront your secret stash. That secret stash could be money. That secret stash could be attachment to your worldly relations. That secret stash could be some vice that you are struggling with. It could be anything. Guru would know exactly what is stopping you, where you are in your spiritual trajectory, what is stopping you, and how to remove that impediment by giving you tasks and instructions around it. And that is how this beautiful journey unfolds. Otherwise, your intellect will never tell you where you are stuck. You have no clue where you are stuck right now. It's only Guru who can actually confront, because they have seen the truth. They know exactly where you are and what is holding you back here. And they will confront it until that obstacle is removed. And then the next and the next, and that is how the journey unfolds. Okay, yes. Any other questions?
There is a question in the chat from iPhone. Can this slide be explained again? It is confusing.
Can this slide be explained again? Just to put it simply, basically what I'm trying to say here is that our confidence is high when we don't have a spiritual understanding. And that is called a peak. When you reach that peak, and one day you will have an aha moment that, okay, you will become a seeker, or there is something that would propel you to start seeking out the higher secrets of life or deeper questions of life. Then when you start seeking and the door has opened up, then your confidence, that starts falling apart. Okay, my God, I thought this and now this. So you will go through a phase that all the fundas or the paradigms that you had created in your head about the world and things around you, they start shaking at that moment. And then that is a slope down. And then it's a bit of a discomfort zone at that moment, but at the same time, it's an exciting thing because you're learning new thing. And then the slope of enlightenment comes, and then it flattens until you meet a guru, and then it takes another level altogether. So it's kind of a curve that happens. It's called a Dunning-Kruger effect, if you check it out. So that's how it goes. And then when you are on the spiritual path, like I said, the more you know, the more you realize how less you know. That feeling will be coming in, and then you crave for more. And it's a beautiful journey that starts unfolding at that point.
And now there is also a $1 million question in the chat. How to get a guru?
I need $1 million first before I can answer it. Okay.
The one who has asked, Vijay Lakshmi ji has asked this question.
So Vijay Lakshmi ji, this is like a TV serial. If I tell you everything in the first one, then you'll not have an incentive to come to the rest. So we will do it systematically. So today we have introduced, do we need a guru? If yes, then we will talk about the qualifications of a guru. Once we have understood the qualifications of a guru, then we say, how do we find a guru? And then we say, okay, and part of that discussion, we'll say, what are some of the symptoms or the parameters or the yardstick we can apply to find a guru? And then once we have found a guru, what do we need to do as a disciple? All this we will cover. For that, you have to keep coming at the same change time, not change in India or US, whatever it is, and we will cover everything and much more.
Yes, Vijay Lakshmi ji, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Okay, Shyam ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Shyam ji.
Yes, Radhe Radhe. As you said, that we all need a guru to progress or steadfast our spiritual life. But at times we do change our gurus. Is it okay? Is it possible? Or is it not okay? And if I take my own example, I have been on this path for much longer time, but for the past 6-7 years, I've been changing routes. And then finally I found one. And I am still in a dilemma to have a guru, not to have a guru. As you rightly said, that intellect has its own questions. You sometimes think a lot and then decide, no, this is not for me. But somewhere we know that this is for me and I need one because it will help me grow much faster, because after a certain point you need somebody. But still, I do not know what I'm saying, but it is okay to change gurus. And
I'll take
to have a guru which is not in a physical form right now. And
understood. So is it okay to change guru is your first question, right? So our
Yeah.
scripture, there is no nishad. Nishad means there is no, it's not forbidden that if you do that. Only condition is you don't bring in negativity towards your previous guru. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if your guru is God realized or saint, it could become a spiritual transgression. So you don't bring a negative, you simply move on.
True.
So that is perfectly okay, changing gurus. Secondly, that intellect aspect you only have to convince. See, God
Yes.
will establish that trust for you when you are seeking it, and you are really want to. There's a bit of a desperation around it. If you are okay with that, then God will also see how how much you want to do that. But you only have to set that, and your desire would dictate that part, right? And then if you really have a desire, then God will not only make you meet with the person, but also establish that faith and trust also. Finding a guru, is more difficult than finding a log when you are sinking in a wide ocean. It's even more difficult than coming across a proper guru. It's a very difficult thing. So if you understand that aspect, then and then God will make sure that you come across somebody, and then they will establish that faith as well, because God is seated within, right? And sometimes we have to take our free will call as well, because without, right now it's called a guru shopping process, right? When you go around and figure out a little bit of this, that, oh, this appeals, this doesn't, this part of this appeal, but that part doesn't. All that is fine. Eventually it has to settle down one day, just because we want to progress as well, right? And when it does, better way is to follow the instructions, just like science. If it doesn't work for you, then move on. But without following, just by intellectualizing, doing, it's called intellectual gymnastics, you keep on shifting here and there, then that's not a very smart way of approaching it, right? It's only going to delay our journey, for that matter, because it's not the first lifetime where we have come across proper gurus. But what has stopped us and what has made us not accepted wholeheartedly is our intellect. So our intellect plays tricks, big time tricks around it. But we have to pray to God that give me some kind of a hint, suggestion, something, give me some kind of an inspiration so that I come across a guru, because I really need it. And it'll happen. It'll happen automatically. And it will happen. It will be like the message will cut through your heart like a hot knife cuts through the butter. But you have to latch on to that. It's not that those signals you have to catch and then see where it takes you. Okay. Few more hands. Yes, Falguni ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Falguni ji.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me, Nitin
Yes,
ji?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Please
Okay,
fill in
so
sorry,
yeah.
Falguni ji, one thing. We have a feedback tracker. If your questions have not been taken, you have more, please fill it in. Because this is an important topic, I will bring answers to all those questions in the sessions so that everything gets addressed. We have limited time, maybe another 5 minutes for our discussion, but you feel free to put in your question in the feedback tracker, and we'll bring it in the session itself. Yeah.
And we have scoreboard also to share today.
Sure. So let's spend about
Yeah.
a couple of more hands and then move forward. Yes, Falguni ji,
Yeah,
go ahead.
So Radhe Radhe Nitin ji, a very good session as usual. I just wanted to make 2 points. One is that whether we need a guru, yes, we do need a guru, because it is only through the grace, that is what I think, that it is only with the grace of God that someone, like a person, becomes a guru. So it is like, it is the grace of God, and then when we get such a guru, then it is our not good luck. I don't have the proper word for it, but it is like, we are also blessed when we find the right guru. So that is one thing. Secondly, I just wanted to share my little bit of a personal experience, that I started on this journey in 1997, and I don't want to name anybody, but I have been on this path for a very long time. I have fumbled, I have, there have been downslide and all that, but there was so much clarity once I joined JK Yoga. So I think, yes, I have not met Swamiji as yet, but yes, Guru is a must. Radhe Radhe. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing that, Falguni. In fact, even the quest of finding a guru, with this kind of a thirst of finding a guru, is part of the spiritual process as well. God will make you one day. And he only has that algorithm that, okay, you have your sanchit karmas, your score is 8, now it's 8.5, now it's 9, 9.5, it's 10. Ah, now you'll meet Guru. He only knows when is the right time to introduce Guru in your life. But from our
Right,
end, we
right.
have to continue seeking it and pray to God that, it happens sooner than later. And it'll happen. It has to happen when we are seeking, because universe is waiting for us to take that first step and open up the doors for us. So, and the Guru entering your life like this, when the disciple is ready, the master has to appear. It is a very fair game God has created. He has not created a matrix with no what do you call that, cracking codes or people who can tell you how to crack this code. It will be a very unfair game otherwise. Now this matrix is there where we are, and he has put enough masters out there
Yeah.
who can help you get out of this matrix. Now you have to find the
It's,
right
it's
master.
Yeah, but it's so true, Nitinji, that I've been struggling since 1997, and like 2022, all of a sudden, come across this Swamiji, and like it was wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pal. Yes.
Just
Yes.
to add one thing, so Falguni ji, first of all, thank you for a beautiful short testimonial. Also, I've shared a link of Swamiji's events in India. So you are in Mumbai, he will be visiting there for a satsang. So please check that out and do not miss to meet your guru in person.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes, Shri Ramya.
Radhe Radhe Shri Ramya ji.
Sorry, I didn't have any question. I didn't notice my hand was raised.
Okay, no worries. Preeti ji.
Yes, Radhe Radhe Preeti ji.
Radhe Radhe. I think when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I don't know, for years and years and years, I was lost in the world and I didn't have a lot of things that I couldn't clarify, and I was confused, depressed, whatnot. And then all of a sudden, when I was at the very low point in my life, I met Swamiji, and then everything just cleared up, like just amazingly, like bunch of clouds got lifted off my mind, and it's just so much clarity that happened that never has happened to me in my entire lifetime in last year.
Beautiful realization.
2 years, like seriously. And I think I'm like, where were you all this time? Why did I waste so many years of my life without getting confused and without not knowing the right knowledge? And as soon as I met him, and simple 10-minute videos explained to me were more than, I would say, years and years of going to school, and just implying few principle has changed my life so much. It's unbelievable. So he's definitely my guru, and what he's doing for us, doing all these free online classes and things, is so much gratitude towards the whole JK Yoga. I'm just so grateful. But I guess my soul was not ready, or the karmas had to be paid off before the right guru appeared in my life,
Thank you for sharing that, Preeti ji. Very nice. Preeti ji is a survivor, okay, and beautiful testimonial. And thank you for sharing that, Preeti ji. And yes, one of the realizations is those clouds of doubts will get cleared. I'll tell you my own, quick thing basically about myself as well. When I started off on this path and met Swamiji, I had so many questions that I used to think that even if I ask 10 questions every day, one lifetime is not enough to get answers, because there's so much to be known, so many abstract things, so many questions your mind has. It will never get cleared. I always used to feel that, and I used to ask him so many questions. But believe it or not, after meeting him within a matter of 4 or 5 months, shouldn't be more than that, all the questions settled, everything settled. It was just about, I don't know how it got settled. Like knots were just opened up. Some you did not even need an answer. You just understood. It's like your realization is there, right? Like you eat food, your realization would say, I am satiated. I don't need to eat anymore. Similarly to those questions were just answered, and not answered, but in a manner that with conviction. That is a fact. I might not have even seen his videos. After a few days, I would come across a video. I say, I know it, what he's saying. It became just like that. And that is the magic of meeting a proper guru. All the questions, and then you don't have to second guess yourself in life on anything. There's so many theories, so many speculations. You can continue doing it for the rest of your life, but when you come across a true guru, then the questions will settle. It's very, very empowering. You will feel so confident about every thought and every action and every decision that you make that you don't second guess yourself at all. And no confusion whatsoever about the world, that somebody is enjoying, they're doing this, am I missing out, fear of missing out, anxiety, all that stuff starts getting put in perspective automatically. So that's the beauty of meeting a proper guru and just aligning to the teachings that they have. Everything will start falling in place. And then of course it becomes a journey of how fast or how intensely you want to take it, right? Some people may decide to crawl, some may jog, some may take a bicycle, some may take a rocket and fly. That's a different matter. But at least from a doubt standpoint, from a theory standpoint, things will settle down fairly quickly when you come across a proper guru. Yes, Swatiji, you wanted to add something?
And so this conviction, Nitinji, that you just talked about, that is really infectious. That is what brought people like us who are kind of undeserving to this path. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, it comes from guru. They give you that. It's like there's no doubt about it. You are just sure about it. I don't know how they give that, but it happens. It becomes realized knowledge, right? At some level, not completely, but at some level. And they know how to get their and seva done. So, but yeah, I get it what it is. You need that conviction, otherwise you can't tell people. Yes, Swatiji.
Radhe Radhe, Swatiji.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. I can sing bhajan because I think we have started
Oh my
devotional
God,
segment.
you jumped the gun already, huh? Yes, Manishi, we will do bhajan as well, please. Yes, Manishi, maybe the last question, and then we will get to our devotional segment where we do a bit of.
Seva scoreboard, Nitinji.
Okay, seva scoreboard, we can do that. Manishi, you wanted to say something?
Radhe Radhe, Manishi.
Radhe Radhe, Sandhya ji, Nitin ji, and everyone. Yeah, I just wanted to say that, like Priti ji said, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. But like Swami ji also says that we have to put in the effort and try. And when we are ready, then God senses that, and He sends a true guru to us. And we don't have to meet our guru. It's when God has graced and the opportunity, the guru, we know like it's a heart-to-heart connection.
Yes.
Like soon as you hear their voice or something, it just like makes that connection. You
Right.
connect with them. And that's how it was with me. I wasn't able to meet Swamiji for nearly 15 months because of my situation, because I'm a caretaker. And oh, yeah, so it was very tough. But I reached out to Swamiji, and he said, just do everything online. And so I did everything. I joined the SMX. I joined all the retreats online and did everything. And then finally, I came across this first video in February 2022. I met him in May of this year, because when he was at the LTP, my wife was, I was cleared to be in groups and all that stuff. So it's not that important for you to meet in person. And Swamiji also said that it's
Right.
the heart-to-heart connection. It's and you accepting them and following what they teach, and that's what the relationship about. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Manishi. Yeah, we'll talk. Thank you for sharing that, and we'll talk about some of these aspects as well. What happens when you accept somebody? What does it mean? Do you have to have some kind of a formal initiation? Do you need to have some kind of a mantra? Then you establish that relationship. We'll talk about all these concepts as well. But thank you for talking a little bit about that as well. Okay. So let's have our Seva scoreboards displayed. I know we have 4 Seva teams and they work really hard. Let's see how it looks like for this week before we move on to our next segment. We'll try to wrap it up by 10:15, no later than that.
So things have like changed drastically as compared to the last week. Now we see selfless is on the top. Then second one is Ananya with a very close call with Vinamra. And for some reason, enthusiastic people might have filled their scores late or something, so it doesn't show up at least right now. And okay, so that's the main scores. And then we can see like people. Actually, one thing that I would really want to comment, I see Vinamra team, almost every member, many members are filling the scores, and I can see many names. from Selfless, mainly these three people only I see: Shyamji, Pallaviji, Jyoti. And
Congratulations to Selfless team. Shyamji, your team is really picking up momentum. So thank you for all the great work and leading your team to newer heights every week. So thank you very much for that. In fact, the good thing is there's a lot of traction across all the four teams, right? Enthusiastic team, I think they probably just missed out on filling it out because
maybe Diwali Mela.
they're always working. I know that. So it's just probably the timing issue right now, is what I can see. Yeah, I see some nods in the head. Yeah, get it. So,
And cheers to Purvaji as well for filling and being here on the scoreboard, and everybody else whom I can see. And look forward to seeing many more names in the next time. That's it. Thank you, everybody.
for sharing that, and great job, and Selfless team, and to all the teams for that matter, if you're working hard. So thank you, everybody. Okay,
20,000 score, Shyamji. Wow.
very nice.
Okay.
Good
So
job.
there is also a request from Tarunji that he also wants to sing a bhajan. So we have Swatiji and Tarunji.
Sure. I request you to restrict it to less than 2 minutes. That way we can wrap it up on time. So let's have two bhajans. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe Swatiji.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
गुरुदेव दया करके मुझको अपना लेना, मैं शरण पड़ा तेरी, चरणों में जगह देना। तुम सुख के सागर हो, निर्धन के सहारे हो, इस तन में समाए हो, मुझे प्राणों से प्यारे हो, नित नाम जपू तेरे, नहीं दिल से भुला देना। गुरुदेव दया करके मुझको अपना लेना, मैं शरण पड़ा तेरी, चरणों में जगह देना। Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you. Very appropriate bhajan for the discussion that we had. Thank you, Swatiji. Beautifully, sweetly sung. Yes, Tarunji, go ahead, please.
Radhe Radhe Tarunji.
राधे राधे। अहो लड़ती इतनी मोह पे, कृपा करो बलि जाऊं। अहो किशोरी इतनी मोह पे, कृपा करो बलि जाऊं। सोवत जागत रटू निरंतर, राधा राधा गाऊं। सोवत जागत रटू निरंतर, राधा राधा गाऊं। जान पड़े नहीं सांझ सवेरो, ऐसो जन्म गवाऊं। जान पड़े नहीं सांझ सवेरो, ऐसो जन्म गवाऊं। जब लो नाम सांस तब ही लो, एक में एक है जाऊं। जब लो नाम सांस तब ही लो, एक में एक है जाऊं। सोवत जागत रटू निरंतर, राधा राधा गाऊं। अहो किशोरी इतनी मोह पे, कृपा करो बलि जाऊं। नाम रूप माया, रूप नाम माया, विवि माया है दुलराऊं। नाम रूप माया, रूप नाम माया, विवि माया है दुलराऊं। जब लो नाम सांस तब ही लो, एक में एक है जाऊं। जब लो नाम सांस तब ही लो, एक में एक है जाऊं। सोवत जागत रटू निरंतर, राधा राधा गाऊं। सोवत जागत रटू निरंतर, राधा राधा गाऊं। अहो किशोरी इतनी मोह पे कृपा करो भली जाऊं। राधे राधे।
Radhe Radhe. Thank you so much, Tarun ji. Beautiful Radha Bhajan. So I'll sing a couple of lines and then we'll wrap it up. अनाथ दीनानाथ कृपालु मे स्मरामि। सद्गुरु मद्गुरु जगद्गुरु नमामि। सद्गुरु मद्गुरु जगद्गुरु नमामि। अनाथ दीनानाथ कृपालु मे नमामि। सद्गुरु मद्गुरु जगद्गुरु नमामि। Okay. All right. So thank you everybody for your enthusiastic participation. We'll continue on this topic for the next whole week, and hope you have adjusted to the daylight timings change that has happened here at Dallas, and it has not impacted you much. And thank you again. And please do fill out the feedback tracker, put in your questions, and tomorrow we will continue on our fascinating discussion. So have a wonderful day and a great rest of your evening. Radhe Radhe from my side.
Thank you, everybody. See you all tomorrow. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.